So once all the PCBs are assembled, we have the two matrix driver boards, we have the control board, and we have the power module here. So once all this is assembled, we're going to move on to bending the 3mm LEDs. So just set this stuff aside for now, and then we're going to start on the LEDs. So you need 64 LEDs per eye, and there's two eyes, so you need 200 or 128 LEDs. I recommend you get a little more than that, maybe around 150, just in case you mess up a couple and you have to rebend them. So you need to do to all these LEDs is you need to bend the shorter leg towards you. So if you look at an LED, you should have a longer leg and a shorter leg, and the shorter leg should also have a flat side on this on the LED here. So what you want to do with each one of these LEDs is just take the shorter leg and bend it towards you. So there's one LED bent, and now you need to bend the rest of the LEDs. So again, we need to take the short leg and bend it towards you. So now that all these LEDs are bent, we're just going to set them aside for just a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and prep the template. So you should have received a 8x8 LED template here, and what you need to do is you need to pop out all these little pieces of plastic that are still stuck inside the template. Some of the templates will have little pieces of plastic that you need to pop out. Some of them will be pre-popped out for you. It just depends on really just when you buy it and what batch you get. So you could just use a paperclip, but my wire cutters work too. So just pop all these little circles out. So those are all popped out. As you can see in the video here, this thing looks white, but actually if you peel off the little bit of protective coating here, this is actually clear plastic, but it doesn't really matter. You could leave the coating on, you could rip it off. It doesn't matter since this is only designed so that this template holds the LEDs as you solder them. So after you've soldered all of the LEDs into matrix, you could just toss this thing out, or I don't know, use it for some other project. But you could either leave the paper or you could peel it off like I am right now. Doesn't matter. And some of these won't come with paper on it, so they'll just be clear like this. And again, it doesn't really matter. I just did it just because. Okay, so now we need to trim these LEDs down to size, and you need to get them to the proper size. So in order to gauge how much of this pin that you bent down needs to be trimmed off, just take it and place it into the template here, and then you'll need to trim off about you need to make the LED about that long. I don't know if my camera picks that up. There we go. So you needed about the bent pin to extend about 2 spots in the LED matrix. I don't know if that's making sense, but you needed about 1/3 of an inch long, so you'll need to trim off the rest. So yeah, an easy way to do that is just place a bunch of these LEDs into the template, and then just take your wire cutters and trim them all down to size all at once. Well, one by one. So there we go, that's 8 LEDs trimmed and ready to go. So we're just going to pop these out and set them aside. And then do the rest of these LEDs. So there's 8 LEDs here, so I need to do 120 more of these, but I'll do however many I have here since I didn't really count how many LEDs I started with. So once all of these LEDs have been bent, we're going to start soldering them into columns. So in order to do that, you're going to take your template here. I don't know. Yeah, you can see that. Okay. So just starting from the bottom, take one LED and place it like so. Take another one and place it above it. And take another one. Alright, once you have all your LEDs placed like so, we're going to start soldering them into place. So we're going to solder all the LEDs like so. So take your soldering iron and then your solder and then make each connection between each one of the LEDs so that they form a column. And then you should have something that looks like that, where we had all the LEDs soldered like this. Make sure that there's no none of these pins touch the pins that are pointing up, because that would short out that LED and that LED would not work. So there's one column done, and now we need to make a couple more. So I'm gonna just set this aside, and then I'm gonna make another one. So again, all you need to do is just solder the places where the LEDs meet. Alright, there's the second one soldered, and you need to make a total of 16 of these LED columns. So each column has 8 LEDs in it, and you need to make 16 of these individual columns, which is what I'll do right now.